Hey guys, it's Jeff from Press Your Luck, and look, I understand we're oversaturated these days with pumpkin lattes, pumpkin pies, pumpkin cardboard, you name it, there's pumpkin everywhere. But I love pastas, as you know, and I was in the supermarket the other day perusing the pasta aisle, and I came across this really amazing, let me show it to you, this really amazing and unique pasta shape called Zucca. And I'm like, those look like mini pumpkins. Don't they look like mini pumpkins to you? Let's see if I can, don't those look like mini pumpkins? Like little hollow little mini pumpkins? I'm like, these are gonna be, a light bulb went off in my head, you know? So I was like, I'm gonna make a pumpkin pasta, and I'm not gonna just like make it like, you know, just like for, you know, pumpkin pasta. I'm gonna make a pumpkin pasta, and that is going to be a pasta that's gonna be delicious, even if you don't really think of it, it's gonna be delicious. Trust me on this, because it's not just pumpkin we're gonna be putting in this. We're gonna be putting in some cheeses as well, and sausage. Yes, the flavors in this one are gonna knock your socks off. So we're gonna go right to our Instant Pot and make the most amazing, savory, with a touch of sweet in there, pumpkin sausage pasta that is done so quickly and so deliciously. It's scary. Are you scared? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. It's going to be delicious. Let's go. So the first thing I want to add in my Instant Pot is about 1/4 of a stick or 2 tablespoons of salted butter. Let's come down to the control panel and give the pot some heat by hitting saute. Make sure we're on the more or high setting. Hit that start button if your model has one. If it doesn't, it'll go onto it on its own after a few seconds. Alright, now that my butter is all melted, I'm going to add in 2 large shallots that I just diced up. Shallots are oblong, like type onions, and they're kind of purple in color when you slice them up, but that color is going to fade very quickly. And we're going to saute those shallots for about 2 minutes, and you'll see the color will begin to fade as we saute. Alright, and after about 2 minutes of sauteing my shallot, it's time to add in our sausage. I am using 2 pounds, equal parts in my case, of sweet Italian and hot Italian sausage, but you can just use sweet or hot. What I've done here is I've removed the casings. I simply serrated the middle of each sausage link, peeled it open and took the meat out. Sometimes in markets you can just find the meat already out of the casings. It looks like ground beef, but it's ground sausage in a way. Up to you. Technically all sausage is ground. I mean, it's just uncased sausage. But this works fine. 2 pounds. And we're gonna just saute our sausage in the pot and get in there with a wooden spatula, which is definitely my tool of choice when it comes down to mixing and sauteing anything in the pot. And we want to just really get in there, break it up, and it's going to basically become crumbled. We're going to do this for about 3 minutes until that sausage separates, becomes almost like a ground beef consistency, and slightly browns. And definitely releases some of those amazing, delicious sausage juices that are going to add such rich and wonderful flavor to this dish. If all goes according to my taste buds' predictions, the offset of the sausage with the pumpkin is going to be glorious. Alright, and after about sauteing our sausage for about a minute or so, when it's all broken up like this, we're going to add in 3 cloves or a tablespoon of crushed or minced garlic. Alright, and after about 3 minutes of sauteing my sausage, you'll see it's become nice and crumbled and slightly browned. That's perfect. And next up, I want to add in 3 cups of broth. For this situation, I'm using either chicken or garlic broth. I'm using garlic broth in this situation, but you can really use any broth you choose, though. Okay, now for the pasta. For this one, guys, I found this fantastic pasta that looks just like little pumpkins. It's called Zucca. This brand, Svacalini. They also make that wonderful cascatelli. I found it in the market. And I'll link where you can get this online if you can't find it in your market. It seems kind of, you know, a little bit of obscure of a pasta shape, but it's too good to pass up. This is what inspired me to make this. But if you can't find this, do not fret. You'll still have that wonderful pumpkin flavor. You can use any short form pasta, be it shells, bow tie / farfalle, cavatappi, macaroni, whether it be large or small elbows, mazziti rigati, penny rigati, whatever you want, mezze penny, that all works just fine. Just add a pound of whatever you add pasta-wise. Okay, now I don't want to stir my pasta, I just want to submerge my pasta, so it's pretty much all in the broth. It's okay if some of it peeks out, but we want to make sure every piece at least gets some form of liquid in there. So if you have to just slightly get the edges in a bit to get it under, that's fine. You don't want to stir it though, because if you do, it's gonna just, it's a lot going on with the sausage already in the pot. And I'm not over brothing this because I don't want it to be too liquidy when we serve it. So don't worry also, if it's peaking up a little bit, the sausage is going to give off more juices as it pressure cooks. So you're gonna be fine here. And this is looking awesome. All right, I'm gonna secure my lid. I'm gonna move the valve to the sealing position. All right, now that we're ready to pressure cook, hit that cancel button. It's like taking you back to the home screen on your phone. And then we wanna hit the pressure cook or manual button for 6 minutes. Adjust with the plus or minus or a knob if your model has one of those. And then again, that's it at high pressure. And then hit the start button if your model has one again. If it doesn't, it'll start on its own after a few moments. And now that we're done pressure cooking, we'll perform a quick release. All right, now our pin just dropped, so I'm gonna take the lid off, and this pasta will have cooked perfectly. Oh, how springy and lovely this is. And this is the perfect amount of broth I want left over for our base. Okay, the finishing touches, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna add in 1 cup of, you could use a grated or a shredded, and I suggest Pecorino Romano cheese. There's a difference between Pecorino Romano and Parmesan. Pecorino Romano comes from a sheep, Parmesan comes from a cow. Parmesan's a bit nuttier. I feel like Pecorino Romano's a bit cheesier. And it's actually aged more quickly as well. I mean, in other words, it doesn't age as long as Parmesan before you eat it. I freshly grated this because I had a block left over of Pecorino Romano. My dad loves this stuff. When he comes over, we serve it with wine, like little pieces. But you can also just use the grated stuff that already comes done that way in the market. Stir that in first so it gets nice and melded into our base here. The next key ingredient here is going to obviously be our pumpkin. I'm using a 15-ounce can of just pure pumpkin. You know, puree, Libby's, you know the Libby's brand. I also want to use some garlic herb cheese, like an Alouette or a Boursin, a package or a tub of it. And now we're going to stir all of that around in the pot. Make sure that all of our pumpkin and all of our cheese is combined nicely. Probably do this for about a minute or two. Fantastic, all melded in. Now for my finishing touch, this is optional. I'm going to add a little bit of sweetness to this by adding a tablespoon of pure maple syrup. You don't have to add it, it's just gonna give it a very nice, slightly sweet flavor. Because the pumpkin that comes out of the can isn't actually that sweet. When you have pumpkin pie and stuff, it's like, of course they load it with the sugar and stuff. But you can add even up to another tablespoon if you want. I think 1 tablespoon is the perfect amount. We just want to put a touch of sweetness to this. And to top it all off, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. You can do fresh, you can do in the kind of in the can already, or the jar, the good little spice container. Stir that up nicely in the pot, and that is it, guys. This is my pumpkin sausage pasta. I'm gonna serve this up into some bowls. All right, and there we go. So nice, so pretty. I love how these little like Zuccas like just scoop up all the sauce and the goodness in there. This is why this is so ideal for this dish. In addition to it looking super themed. And there we have it, our gorgeous pumpkin sausage pasta. We are now gonna try this out. Let's do it. And there it is, my pumpkin sausage pasta. Could it look more festive? I don't know. Let's try this out though. See if it's a trick or a treat. I've never done this before. Okay, this is so good. Not only is it a treat, no trick. This is spooky. It's so good. Oh my gosh. This, look at how cute these little pastas are. How they scoop up the sauce. Some of the sausage in there. Even at 9 o'clock in the morning, this tastes outrageously delicious. The pumpkin in there works so well, along of course with like the creamy cheeses. You have the Pecorino Romano or the Parmesan, and you have that garlic herb cheese in there. The pumpkin puree blends so nicely with it. And if you want to add a little bit of that maple syrup, by all means do it. It's going to add a nice little touch of sweetness to the dish. In fact, for the maple syrup, you can absolutely add up to 2 or even maybe 3 tablespoons of it. Start with 1, stir it in, see how much more you want to go. Add 1 tablespoon increments from there. It is really nice with that sweet touch to it. Also, this pasta, this Zucca, is cooked perfectly. Perfectly. It's like the perfect bite in this pasta. It's fully cooked. It's not mushy. It's just literally like, perfect. Again, not the easiest pasta shape to find. If you can't find it in your market, I'll also link it online so you can look there. But you can also use any short form pasta, like I said. Bow ties, ziti rigate, penne rigate, mezze penne, shells, medium shells, macaroni. You can use anything, but you know, come on, like they're pumpkins. They look like little pumpkins, right? I'm enjoying it. a huge home run with this dish. And not only is this perfect for Halloween, obviously, it's also gonna be perfect for your Thanksgiving table because pumpkin, squash, gourd, all that stuff. You're gonna love it. Even if you don't really like pumpkin, you're gonna love this because it has all those other wonderful things going on in there. Swirl it around with the pumpkin. The pumpkin isn't the star, it's just a nice touch and adds all that beautiful color. And the sausage mixed in with everything, of course, heaven. If you want this a little zestier, by the way, you can absolutely put some pepper on top at the end right before you serve. That's totally up to you, your call, go for it. Also put additional cheese on there or some nutmeg at the end. You could sprinkle just a little bit on when you serve it or grate it over it, however you want to do it. Do a pumpkin patch. Just in case you guys didn't know, I'm the author of 4 cookbooks. There's 3 available out at the time of this video. The orange book, my original, the blue book, which is my lighter cookbook, and the yellow book, which is my simple comfort food cookbook. And the 4th one is the green one, which is super shortcut Instant Pot. All shortcut, very quick recipes, super easy. My quickest cookbook yet, but the flavor, still exactly all the same that you're gonna get in that book as you do in the others, with less work and less ingredients. But get all the books, you're gonna want them all. They all have golden recipes in them, all easy. You could have never cooked a day in your life, and a little intro here that's a quick read will tell you exactly how to use your Instant Pot in no time flat. Speaking of which, every recipe also boasts a timing bar and beautiful step-by-step color photos and a finished shot of what every single recipe should look like. What more can you ask for? Thank you again for watching, my friends, and the next time you have some kids at your doorstep saying trick or treat, just be a little different. Give them a scoop of this pasta instead. They probably have to eat it in a little cup though. It's gonna be weird if you throw it in their bag. Enjoy.